Hello, hello, hello. It's a beautiful overcast day in Washington State. I wanted to today chat about current events such as gas and food and pretty much everything, right? It all affects us. Everything's going up except wages. And I'm gonna got my little cheat sheet. I'm gonna list all the links for these resources that I'm gonna mention in the description. So that way, if you want to go and Google it for your area or wherever you may be at the time, so you could have access to that. You know, there's a lot of things that we have control over and a lot that we do not. For instance, we have no control over gas prices, but we have control over how far we drive and how we use the gas that we have and the money that we have saved for gas. So we do have control over that part of it. I know a lot of people have told me, but I don't even have money for gas. And I'm going to get into a few ways of making some extra change. You're not going to get rich by any means, but I know that by doing the things I'm going to mention in a little bit has helped me to be able to keep gas and have a few extra things that I don't generally have because I don't have the income, the funds for that. But like I said, we are in control of how much we use. I tend to stay longer. I did come to Washington State. There was some things that missions wise I wanted to do coming, and I did that and was able to spend time with my daughter and family, and still able to just serve the Lord in the way that He wants me to. So that worked out. I have heard that since the time I've been here in Washington, in Oregon, in my area, the gas has increased $1 a gallon. That's just crazy. I don't understand it, but I don't even want to try to understand it. I just don't believe what politicians tell me anyway. So, I personally stay within 3 to 5 miles when I'm at what I call home base stationary, because I have been staying pretty much in the same area because of first the pandemic and then now, the rising cost of everything. And I do go twice a month, no more than that. I do all my major stuff and I try to lump it in all together on that day: my banking, my doctors, my medication, my major grocery shopping, gassing up, laundry, all of that. So then it's just done because it's all in the same vicinity, but it is a few miles away from where I normally stay. So I do schedule out 2 days a month for that, and it for me it seems to really work out. Now, food, I like instant coffee, so we went to a store yesterday, my daughter and myself, and coffee was $12 for a container of it, of Taster's Choice. It was just ridiculous, and I couldn't believe it. Of course, I got it, but now it's more of a treat than just. I used to drink coffee all day long just to drink coffee because I love coffee, but um, I don't do more than 2 cups, and I've been most of the time doing just 1 cup. That's just too expensive. I can't even justify it. But I'm not going to give up my coffee at all. I'm just not going to do it. But with food, I think I'm blessed because I love vegetables more than anything. I'm not a big meat eater, not because, and some people could save the animals. I get that. But for myself, it's just, I don't really care for the taste of meat. I did hear a joke though. This one lady was sitting at a restaurant eating a hamburger, and another lady walked by with a big old salad, and she said, uh, these animals are dying because of you eating them. And the lady eating the hamburger looked at her and said, if you weren't eating all the cow's food, we wouldn't have to eat the cow. Anyway, no offense to anybody. I thought that was funny. Anyway, each to their own, and whatever a person chooses for their life, I get it and I respect it. I just personally don't care for the taste of pork, or other than bacon. I love bacon. Beef, it's just not my thing. I do eat some chicken, and I love fish, but and it has to be a specific kind of fish for sure. But yeah, I'm grateful that I eat vegetables more than meat because I was looking at meat. There was like steaks for $30 for a steak for one meal. Who could afford that? Man, you better figure out for $30 how I can get 30 meals out of that one little steak. That's just crazy. But everything has increased. When it comes to food, I've found some resources. Some I really know about, like the senior centers. Um, Senior centers are really, really great. They offer, number one, a lot of activities, and if we remain active and keep ourselves healthy, then we don't have to use the resources, for medical treatment or for whatever. So I'm an advocate for working out and eating healthier, so that's always a good thing. But the senior centers also offer low cost meals. In a lot of places, it's by donation only. I know we have a few in our area and that's how they go, by donation only. They never turn anyone away if they're hungry. So that's really good. And you get to socialize and meet people. And if you're a nomad, I mean, that's really a great thing. Even if you're not, if you're just a shut in, as we get older, our family either has passed on or our kids are doing their own thing, and kind of I'm 60 years old, and sometimes I feel like I'm at the forgotten age, if that makes any sense. There's also food boxes. I was a single mom with three kids, and I never got assistance. When I was raising my children, I've always worked, and not saying I'm better than anyone. I've just always worked. I've been a worker, started my own business, and so my kids were able to be with me. Actually, they worked for me a lot of the time when they were older, which was great. But there was many times we had to rely on food boxes, and I could vouch that in the food boxes, it may not be what you would go and shop for, but it is food, and it's a resource. It's something so that you are fed. You're not being hungry, that you're fed, and you're able to maintain some kind of health. So that's what food boxes are, just a great way to help, um, set off the difference between things. And there's food stamps. I know people who will not use food stamps. They are just too proud. They rather be hungry than use food stamps. And the good Lord tells us that we're to humble ourselves. And let me tell you, if He's sending that as a way to help you, people should take that and put your pride aside. And honestly, no one knows you're getting food stamps unless you're telling them. So that's how I feel about that one. Get them. If you qualify, get them. It's such an easy application, and you could go online and, do the majority of it. Gig work is another way. I like doing gig work. It's getting harder to find little odds and end jobs, but you can find them on Craigslist and on Facebook Marketplace. I would be cautious, especially being a woman. Um, Not saying everyone is evil or have wrong intentions, but I've run across some people that just aren't, um, I don't know, bad feelings. So I said thanks, but no thanks. And then we have our family and our friends. And, I don't know about y'all, but for me, my family and friends are in the same predicament I'm in, right? We're all struggling. But I know if you don't ask, then you'll never know. And sometimes if someone has a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but you put it together, then everyone's being fed a really good meal. So it's really good and encouraging. Just go to your family and friends, and just lift each other up, and most importantly, I pray. I pray before anything and everything, because, God says, in whatever we eat, drink, in whatever we do, we are to do it for the glory of God. So He takes care of our needs. He really does. Another thing is, in Oregon, our bottles and cans, we get a 10-cent return on them. And I cannot believe the people who are too proud, once again, there's that word proud, to go, and we have a wonderful bottle drop facility, and to turn in your bottles and cans, and you get 10 cents, and you get 20, $30 at one pop. And my water bottles, I save all of them, and then other people just give me theirs because they just don't want the hassle, or they just, it's beneath them to do that. So when I was talking about making extra income, I have a video about this I've already made, and you could go through. It's about earning extra income. But I do surveys. I'm still doing Survey Pop and Branded Survey. I just really love those two. They pay out instantly. It doesn't take me long to, it's a $5 minimum. You know, uh, The Survey Pop, if you cash out at $5 or a little after, they give you another survey right after that for $2. So you're already climbing up again. That one's a quick turnaround. But Branded Survey, I just continue to stack it up. Makes it nice. But I have been trying out, it's called Inbox Dollars. And I really like that. You scan receipts. There's so many different ways to make money, and doing nothing at all and no time at all, I was able to make the minimum $15 for cash out. So, you know, excuse me. And so that's really great. And by not spending a whole lot of time, I can make a whole lot more money if I spent more time on it. But I make an average of 250 extra dollars a month just by doing that. I mean, you figure if you're going to sit there and play a video game or absolutely do nothing, you may as well bust out your phone or tablet and do a few surveys, and it gives you that little extra money, and it just makes me feel like I'm doing something to help the situation I'm in. Another thing that I do, and I have been doing, is I reevaluate my spending. How much am I putting out versus what I'm bringing in? And I try to save at the very least $20 a month towards an emergency fund because mine depleted quickly. I am not going to lie, it went quick. I had a really nice emergency and savings fund and it just depleted. 'Cause, circumstances beyond my control, but it was gone pretty quick. But it makes me feel good that I'm doing something is better than doing nothing. And so it just makes me feel good that I'm doing something. Another thing is your insurance. Geico raised I've been with them for 6 years. All of a sudden, I noticed my monthly rate went to $150 a month. I called and asked why. They said, because in your area, the cost of repairing vehicles have increased. And I explained to them, I said, well, wait a minute. I have extended warranty and I maintenance my rig. So they told me I could take this course, $50 to take the course, and it'll give me $30 off a month. Well, that's not loyalty. I mean, rewards. Come on now. I've been loyal to you. So I got off the phone with them and I went to call Progressive. Actually, I didn't even call. I just did it all online. They offered me the exact same coverage for $84 a month. My first month, I only paid $5. So at the end of October, they'll take out my first 84. It's just crazy. Of course I took it. Who wouldn't take it? It's like $66 savings. That's money I could put into my fund, to help with gas or what have you. So I look at everything like I won't give up my internet, but my internet was 150, and when I called Nomad Internet when I first got it and said, I can't afford the 150, and they said that's okay. They offered it to me for 99. So, a lot of times it just takes communication and being nice, and always pray before you do that. It sure helps a lot, you know. And like I said, I set aside a lot of times I have to use the money I set aside, especially now gas is again going up. But you know, you just have to set money aside, and we always have to have a cushion. Like I'm blessed. I have my daughters I could go to if my rig ever had to go to the shop or whatever. Of course it's 4.5 hour drive here, so not quite sure how I'd get here. But anyway, I do have that. And like I said earlier, I've changed my eating habits. I go to the gym 5 days a week, and it's also good for nomads because you get to shower, that you get to work out. You could use the massage tables, tanning booths, which hey, those are nice little perks. I don't care about tanning, but I do like working out, and I just feel amazing. I feel healthier now than I have ever in my 60 years of life. So, like I said, we cannot control everything, but what is within our means, we should be controlling that so that we can live our best lives because we live every day but die once. So I'm not ready to go at 60, at 70, at 80. I pray the good Lord keeps me around a long time, And the economy just stinks. I'm not lying, I'm not sugarcoating it. It's really dark sometimes, the darkness, but we know how to outdo the darkness, right? Light wins every time, and it's the light of Jesus Christ. So I really encourage you to get into the Word of God, to to just be in His presence and to love Him, to honor Him, to obey Him. God promised to take care of our every need, and God does not lie. He's really such a good, loving God. And I just really encourage you to get into the Word. There's so many free courses online for Bible study. I was in a Bible study group via Zoom, and that didn't really work out. But gosh, I'm really hoping that maybe I could find another one or even start one. That would be great. And I like the idea of like-minded people being together, and we could encourage and lift one another up. So on the resources, I don't even know what I did with that page, but I'll make sure. Oh, here it is. I'll make sure that I link this, but it's like www.foodpantry.gov, CatholicCommunityServices.org, freefood.org, UnitedFamilyNetwork.com. There's just so many, if you just go to Google, hey Google, and just put in what you're looking for, and gosh, they'll lead you to the direction you're needing to go. And don't be afraid to go to churches. Call them. Call churches. My experience with churches are, kind of iffy on when you're going. They do take care of like within their church, which is really great, but that's not what God says we're to do. And definitely, if you're in my area and you're hungry, look me up. I'm more than happy to share my food. It's not going to be steak. I can guarantee you that, but it is good. So anyway, pray for all of you. I just hope that you will pray for me as well. It's just always so encouraging hearing and reading all the great comments, and I've been meeting people that are just so wonderful and great. If you could please like, share, and subscribe, that would be fantastic. If you think someone could use this information, please pass it along. And remember, God loves you. He loves you right where you're at. Don't stop being you. All right, I'm out. Peace out. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.